Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Phil, and I am with
Johnny Goldsmith. Hello.
and we have the one and only.
Conor Renshaw.
Move a little bit closer to the mic.
Oh, closer, Conor Renshaw.
Yeah. That's your new nickname, Closer Conor Renshaw. That doesn't sound like a stalker at all. But yeah, we are with the amazing Conor Renshaw. You might have noticed that we had an interview with him at New Generation Wrestling at the Open Day. But I thought that you were such an interesting bloke that we'd bring you in and have a proper long, in-depth chat and shit.
Sounds good to me.
And you can swear and say whatever you want as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't hold back in this. You know.
Yeah,
we're not PG, are we not?
Yeah, no. You might Biggs might have told you, but he's just like, yeah, just come on, just chat shit, just say whatever you want. They don't care. Like, we literally don't. So it's say whatever you want, man. It's honestly, it's no bother. But yeah, so when we were at the NGW Open Day, we had a chance to obviously talk, but we didn't have a chance to talk properly. We only got to talk about like New Generation Wrestling and stuff, which is cool. I don't mind doing that. But I want to know a little bit more in depth. I wanted other people to know more about you, and it just made more sense, really, I think, to do it like this. So tell people, where did you start?
So, wrestling-wise, you think, yeah?
Yeah, I think wrestling-wise, yeah.
Started out, when was this? About 4 or 5 years ago now. Started out actually Rad Pro, back when that was a thing. In Shields, Shields.
Lara Lucha.
Yeah, that was it. Started out there, like that was like my first ever wrestling experience, and to be fair, it wasn't the best, but it was one of those things, you know, where you don't really know any better because you've never done anything like that before. Only went along really because a friend wanted to go. I wasn't actually that bothered. I wasn't actually that interested in doing it, to be fair. So, but he wanted to go, and I was the only one that drove, so I was like, right, okay, I'll go along. Went along, and yeah, they started putting us on shows and stuff not too much long after
And
that.
you're like, really?
Yeah, I was like, okay.
How long had you been training by that point then?
Till my first match, 6 months.
Really?
Yeah.
That's quite short.
Yeah, it really was. It was too short.
Yeah,
too
I was
short.
going to say, did you then get to that point where you're like, yeah, did you feel a bit out of your depth or what?
Yeah, I to be fair, I shouldn't have been in a ring at 6 months in, to be fair. Definitely not, but you know, you live and you learn, I guess. And I started, after that, not too long after that, I started going to NGW's training school. That was back in Berkeley, where Rampage and Screwface were the head trainers, and Howard Drake used to come along and help out as well. And yeah, we used to train there for every Monday night, and it was a completely different experience. It was really from like bumping around on a crash mat in a little tiny room above a MMA gym. Yeah. It was going to like a proper open. It was like a proper boxing gym that had like loads of boxing rings, loads of equipment, massive open floors. So, you know, it used to get really hot and absolutely just get destroyed in there by cardio and all sorts. And yeah, so that was where we started out there, and then it's just been going on ever since there. I've never really moved from there. Then the gym moved to Chesley Street from there, and just been working away there. Pretty much. I've not really done anything else besides that, and then just trying to make way onto more shows and things like that. Just putting.
Because you're a regular on the Proving Ground shows now, aren't you?
Yes, I'm the
yeah.
Proving Ground champion now. So
Aye.
I won that belt like last year. So I've been doing some main events on the Proving Grounds and things like that for them. Started doing some spots to Defiant recently as well.
Yeah, I've noticed because you wrestled Rampage, right?
Yeah,
the last one.
My first one for the new loaded tapings I did. It was like the big because they do like 4 or 5 weeks in one go in like one show in Newcastle in the O2. And I was on like the second episode, I think, maybe. And yeah, I got to wrestle the champ for like a 5-minute match.
Champ and your head trainer.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you're just like, yeah, I'm in safe hands, I'm good. He's probably going to rattle your brain about a bit, but you'll be alright.
I was in safe hands, but it was also a big task. It's like, oh great, if this goes wrong then there's nowhere else to go from here.
Yeah, just like kiss my ass goodbye. Well, no, let's not do that. But yeah, so listen, I watched the match. You look great. Honestly, you looked strong.
Yeah.
You looked strong against him. And I was like, holy shit, are they like, I was like, are they booking him strong? What the fuck? I was like, yeah, go in, Conor. I was like, fair play, man, honestly, because, I mean, you could have went in and just kind of lay it down and took it, which you had every right to.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but fair play. You got some shit in. You looked strong doing it, and you got a little bit over as well. So I think you've got fucking fair of you to be able to get that.
Yeah.
Are you currently injured or any aches at the moment, or?
Not really. I think just the generic aches and pains that wrestlers get, like back and sore, like knees and things like that. But nothing too bad. I think it's just little niggles here and there you get, but you just kind of work through that. Nothing major.
Yeah.
The only thing major injury I've ever had was I broke my ankle like a few years back.
Okay.
But that wasn't too. It wasn't like a really bad one. I didn't have to have any surgery or anything, so just kind of healed on its own sort of thing. So that's the only really bad thing I've ever had. To be fair, luckily, touch wood.
Okay.
Well, that's good, man. Well, you were saying your first kind of training, you went just because a mate went, but obviously you would have known about wrestling before that.
Oh yeah, I used to love wrestling when I was a kid.
Yeah, so that obviously that's why you wanted to go. So what was the issue? Obviously you would be Raw, right? Raw or Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, a bit of Raw and SmackDown. Yeah, when I was when did I start watching? Well, I started watching really when I was really young, because my dad used to get like get DVDs and stuff like that, or like videos back then, like the dodgy ones and things like
VHS.
that. Yeah, so I used to watch a bit WCW, bit of Raw, bit of SmackDown, all of that, and then I started watching it like really like weekly, with my cousin when I was like about maybe he's like 10 or 11 or so. Like SmackDown every Friday night. It used to be on Friday nights, so that was because we didn't have school the day after, so we could stay up and watch it on Sky Sports. And he had Sky Sports, I didn't, so we used to watch SmackDown on there every Friday night.
I remember where it used to be, where it was Raw on Friday night at one point as well, and then I'd watch SmackDown on Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the day. Oh man. Yeah.
Oh man. So obviously you're watching Raw and SmackDown. Is there any point there where you're like, I want to do this? Like, I'll do this.
Oh man, we used to like with my friends and stuff. We used to like in the school playground or on the trampolines and things like that. Used to give each other stunners and pedigrees and GDTs and stuff.
You're on the grass.
Just
get your jumper dirty.
On the grass or on the concrete. Anything that really.
I remember the pedigree was the one move that we wouldn't do, because I'm like, well, that would really hurt if you splat on your face.
They all hurt when you do it on concrete, to be fair.
Yeah.
Doing it ECW style. I think that's what they would call it. So yeah, like, so you've obviously like I've said that you've always been doing it. It's fine. It's shit you do in the playground and all that sort of stuff. But when you get there, do you have like a main guy that you're just like that's my guy? Like for me, it was Stone Cold.
Oh right, yeah.
So like it was just like, do you have like a guy who like that's my guy? I'm a fan of him, like completely through and through.
Yeah, Undertaker. He was the guy for me when I was growing up. I used to watch like me dad even got like a DVD copy of like his documentary thing they did, like where it was like all of these like matches and like the streak and things, like all sorts of that. And I used to love watching things like that. And Undertaker was just, I don't know, it was just maybe because like he was so tall and he was a big guy, but you could move.
Yeah. Like
you can you can fly over the top rope, do all sorts. It was crazy just watching like this massive guy be able to do all this sort of stuff. But yeah, Undertaker for me was the guy. Like, he was great.
I'm going to see you do any old school soon.
I've tried it before.
Aye.
It's not as bad as you think, really, but I don't know. I don't like the top rope. Something about it. It's just like
there's some people who are just like, yeah, I can go at the top rope wherever you want. Yeah, and there's some people who are like, nah, fuck that. Like,
yeah,
fuck that shit. No.
Whatever you do, never get a tattoo of your girlfriend or your wife across your neck like he did.
Just sound advice.
Yeah.
Sound advice. You can get a RopeBreak tattoo there if you want. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't recommend it, to be honest. Crimson and blue, it won't wear well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got all that. You come into with almost pro, but it's Lara Lucha.
Yeah. So it was Rad Pro. They used to be.
Yeah,
that's what it used to be called, anyways. Don't think that's not still around anymore.
No.
But yeah, they had the layer of Lucha. There was never any lucha done, to be fair, but it was just, it was like there was when I first started, it was like upstairs above an MMA gym. There was a big blue crash mat in the middle of the floor.
Yep.
And there was some judo mats on the floor.
Yeah.
And you started off the session by like doing a little bit of a stretch off, and then you'd start taking bumps. And
do you remember if you fucked up, you just missed the crash mat entirely because it wasn't big enough?
Oh yeah,
the slightest.
And it got to the point where like after he was really old anyway, the crash went.
Yeah.
So some parts weren't even really padded anymore. So it was just like it landed on the floor. So it's like, oh great.
Like I remember doing, for fucking listeners who used to know, yes, I tried to wrestle once. Tried. I was shit. Trust me, I was fucking terrible. That's why I'm on a fucking.
What was your ring name again, Phil?
You don't want to know. It's painful memories. It's painful memories. It's too much. I'm gonna start crying in a bit. But yeah, I do remember very blatantly doing. I think it was like a fucking flying shoulder tackle or something.
Okay.
And completely hitting the guy. I can't remember. Was it Oliver Barrett?
Oh no. Yeah.
And hitting him. And then completely missing the crash mat and just winding myself on all these mats. Yeah. And I was just lying there for 5 minutes because I've got asthma, so I was fucked anyway. And I was just like, the pain.
Someone just comes out with a broom and just goes, hey, get him to the side.
Fuck those mats. Seriously.
Yeah, the judo mats.
Yeah.
Ah, man, we used to take bumps on them and all sorts.
I know.
Awful.
They were just fucking ridiculous. Who thought that was a good idea?
I don't know.
Who? That's not. Oh god! If I could go back in time, I swear. That guy still owes me money.
Seriously?
Yeah. We're not going to mention his name.
No.
But he does.
Okay.
Because I was training there for 6 months.
Yeah.
And he was like, "I've got a gimmick for you. I'll get you your mask." And I give him 50 quid to get us my mask. Because he didn't want me on shows without a mask on because I've got an ugly face. This is what he told us. He was like, "You've got an ugly face, and I don't want you to be associated with my promotion. So you're wearing a mask. So you've got a gimmick." Yeah, he still owes me 50 quid. He didn't get me that mask.
I don't think.
I wouldn't have minded if he got the mask.
You're not going to see that money.
Yeah, I'm not going to see that money. He's moved right away, from what I've heard. But,
yeah, none of us saw any money back then anyway.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, he hardly ever turned up. He who shall not be named. I think that's the easiest way to go about it.
Okay.
Nothing against him as a person, but I mean, come on, you know. But anyway, it's one of those things. So 6 months. Who do you have your first match against?
Who you just mentioned there, Oliver Barrett.
Oh,
that was him. That was actually when he debuted that character.
Oh, was it? So because he was something else. Oh, in fact, no, we're allowed to say because he doesn't use it anymore. Fearless After Rocks.
Yes.
He was him before.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's some kayfabe thing, and everybody fucking knows. So yeah, everybody knows that. Yeah, he was Fearless Atrox. So did you debut when he was Oliver Barrett?
Yes, so he wasn't under the hood then. Yeah, so he was back then. That was at Crawcrook. It was like a summer fair sort of thing.
Oh yeah, it was outside.
It was outdoors. Yeah.
Was that the one where it started raining?
That was the one. Luckily, it wasn't just after my match. I had a rumble. Mm-hmm. So it was like, I can't remember, it was like 5 matches, then a rumble or something. And I was the last one before the rumble. So then literally, it was that Oliver Barrett and Joe Biggs. They went out for the first 2 in the rumble, and then the heavens just opened, pissing down with rain all over. The ring was soaking, and they were still trying to do stuff, slipping and sliding all over the shop. People had left, everyone had gone, and they were still trying to work.
Nobody's watching by this point.
Everyone had left, and they're still trying to work a match. It's just like.
So Biggs would have looked like he had more baby oil on then.
He never used to wear baby oil back then.
Yeah, that must have been where he got the idea from.
Maybe.
It was
saw the pictures.
Soaked, and he's just like, "I look good in this."
Good, this.
I love him. If he hears this, I do love him. He's fucking great, and I love it. I love his live broadcasts. I'm sorry, but also we will talk about like almost controversial stuff.
Okay.
With a certain his first name is.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about that too. Yeah. No, Johnny. Trust me, we need to.
I've heard things.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Heard things.
We're gonna talk about all that sort of shit too.
Oh great. I'm looking forward to that.
This is where Biggs is all about it. He's gonna ring this phone next to me now, and he's gonna be like, "I heard you were talking about it."
Just get him on a conference call.
We can do that. Is the bad thing. We can do that, but
we should. That'd be great.
Biggs were talking about him. What? Why wasn't I involved in the conversation? But yeah. So yeah. So you did he kind of had? So you had your match before the Heavens Open.
Yeah. So it was like So that like there was because it was like this summer fair that was on.
Yeah.
They built the ring up like. don't know, just before it opened or something, and then like had those all like, you know, like a summer fair that had like you know, like little rides and stuff like that, and like hot dog stands and stuff like that.
Caterpillar and shit.
Yeah, all that sort of stuff, and like people trying to sell you stuff, like local businesses and all that sort of thing. And then like in like the had it in the basketball, like a basketball park thing, like a little like concrete basketball thing. They just had a ring. And the place it got changed was like some little like the bowls club, like clubhouse or something like that. You just came out of there and walked into this basketball court, go in the ring there, and yeah, just had a match in there. It was awful.
That's a funny one for your first match. It's not the funniest one I've heard.
Is it not?
So the funniest one I've heard is Darius Lockhart.
Okay.
So I got to meet him for a bit because he came to Empire, and got chatting to him for a bit. His first match was against Cedric Alexander, which isn't too bad.
Yeah.
But it was between 4 corners of a garden post, and there was no ring.
What?
Yeah, and it was for a kid's birthday.
Oh.
So he's pretending to run off the ropes.
There's no ropes.
There's no rope. It's on YouTube. If anybody gets a chance to watch it, go watch that.
Oh,
Darius Lockhart, Cedric Alexander. It's like some kid's birthday, and it's Darius Lockhart's first match. And it's great. It's funny. And even Darius Lockhart is just like, yeah, okay, it was funny.
You know, when you train to be a wrestler, I don't imagine you think, oh, all that training for this.
I can't remember who trained him, but it was something along the lines of like the van with the ring was stuck because someone wouldn't move their car or something. It's something like that, so they couldn't get it out of the van.
So improvise.
So improvise. 4 sticks in the ground. You two are gonna have a match.
Speaking of rings, obviously I know that Howard seems quite involved with building rings and things like that. So what's he like to work with? He seems like a very professional. Howard Drake.
Yeah. So obviously, I've done a lot of ring jobs with him before. So yeah, it's pretty much like, you know, he'll turn up at a certain time. Everyone doesn't really. It's not like a certain crew he's got. He'll just ask people, and like, you know, usually people will turn up because it's Howard, you know. And it's just a case of, you know, the rings are he's built so well. They're so easy to put up, to go up, and like if you've got plenty of bodies, like you probably don't even need that many. Like if you say you got like five or 10 bodies, you can probably get a ring up in like half an hour to an hour.
Yeah,
easy. So much easier.
I mean, you guys at NGW use the old WCPW ring.
Yeah, I think that was what do you call it? Is it Wrestle Ropes, or what's the company called that makes rings?
I can't remember.
I forgot what you call them now. But it was one of their rings anyways, so similar kind of design.
Yeah.
Last week one of the turnbuckles that was seized had snapped off when someone was running the ropes.
Is that in training?
Yeah. So Howard kind of had to bodge it together with a ratchet strap. But
well, if anybody can do that, it is him. Like, cause he's been doing that for years, though, hasn't he?
Oh yeah, he's been building rings for a while now. Yeah.
Wasn't he an engineer or something? Or a welder or something like that? Or is like he built rings like professionally, like the posts?
I think he's I can't remember if he was an engineer or something like that, but I know he's not a welder because he's not. I remember seeing he's looking at doing a welding course, so he can actually, because he just used to. I don't know if he still does. He used to outsource the welding to someone else or someone. I don't know, but yeah. So I don't think he was a welder. But yeah, he's been building rings for loads of people for a while.
I know because I know he's been doing it for. Well, hold on, I'm gonna have to think now. At least 10 years.
Yeah.
Easily. So it's the amount of times where you'll turn up to like a Northeast show, and not only is Howard on the card, but he's setting up the
his
ring.
Yeah. 9 times out of 10, that's the case.
Yeah. Honestly, but so you've had your first matches. Who's your favourite match so far, by the way, in your career?
That I've had?
Yeah.
Ooh. It's a tough one. Probably is going to say the one I had with CJ Banks at Shield was a while back.
We're big fans of him.
That was a good one. Probably as good as the longest one. It was quite a long one as well, because I liked having my match with Ollie as well, but it wasn't very long, so didn't get really do a lot on it. But that one was like a good half an hour match.
What was it like working with him? Because he's
so easy.
Yeah.
It's just you don't have it wasn't he just doesn't really, you don't have to plan much. You just kind of go through it, and it's just
he just knows.
He just knows. He can just lead it so well. It's just easy.
He's been on a couple of our top tens now as British wrestlers to really look out for, and he's so underrated. Oh. It's ridiculously underrated, and he should be booked on so many more shows, especially now because of NXT UK. So we'll talk about that now as well. Actually, might as well. That's a good segue. So NXT UK, obviously the contracts and shit. Yeah. Right. I've been asking loads of different wrestlers this question, and I get usually the same answer. I'll see what you say. No pressure or anything. All right. But with NXT UK, the contract, it's obviously that a lot of people that are now signed there can't work in all the promotions that they used to work in, all the promotions that love work, and they can't get in front of the fans. Yeah. Now for you, is that a case of, well, it's a bit of a detriment to the scene and it kind of sucks, or is it a case of everyone's going to pick up that ball and we'll carry on, we'll pick up them fucking spots? Yeah, I mean, in terms of, obviously is that there's a lot of people who are really good who I've worked with before who can't now do certain shows, which is a bit of a downer really for the fans in terms of that. But for guys like us who are not under any contracts or anything, we've only been doing it for a short amount of time. There's a lot of spots opening up now that we can fill in those spaces and get those bookings and start hopefully work our way to ourselves getting a contract, hopefully. Yeah. I mean that's the idea, that's the goal, plan, isn't it? That's the goal. I don't know if you see all this stuff on Twitter, because I'm not on Twitter all the time, but some of this stuff ends up popping up. Yeah. And it's fans have been complaining that have been of the British wrestling scene, saying, "Oh, the UK wrestling scene's ruined," and they're idiots for starters, because they clearly don't know the amount of talent and how deep it goes, because it's ridiculous. I've been fucking praising your praises down south, because for fans who don't know, I've literally just came back from WrestleGate Pro at 7 o'clock this morning. I had 4 hours sleep and then came here, so I'm running on kind of low fumes. But I've talked to Gary Ward, the promoter, about how basically now he has such a wide open pool of talent to pick from now. It's never been easier to just go, that guy's really good, I'm going to have these guys, these are going to come down, they're going to make it work an amazing match. And the amount of people that are going to get more bookings, I'll give it Rory Coyle, great example. Yeah, he was there at WrestleGate Pro last night and I didn't even know, for starters. Oh yeah, Johnny, I didn't tell you this, sorry. Got it, hold on. Live conversation. So I was having a word with the promoter, right? Yeah. And he was saying, "Oh, is there anyone that you think I should book?" And I went, "Oh, Rory Coyle. He's excellent, brilliant promos, in-ring work is really amazing, and a really unique gimmick. And I think you work really well with that crowd." He went, "Oh, okay." Little did I fucking know he was there, right? and he was there as a surprise entrant. He wasn't on the card and I didn't notice, right? Because that would be really shitty of us to just be like, "Oh yeah, I didn't know Rory Coyle was there." He's been advertised for 6 weeks, you take guys. But no, it's he was a surprise entrant type of thing. And I was praising him, and apparently the promoter just looked over his fucking shoulder, Gary, bless him, and just winked at his social media manager and turned back away at us. And I'm just like, "Oh, cheeky that." But I was singing praise of you. Obviously saying that how you should be, because you're a bigger guy, you're an athletic guy, but also you lay your shit in, and that's one of my favourite things about you, is that also you look hard as fuck whenever you do anything, and that's one of my favourite things, because it's something you don't see enough of. Yeah. And quite frankly, I think it's a lost art right now. You get a lot of people who the whole
that's why I like Steve Austin, I guess, because he was very much like hard hitting.
You keep it close. Definitely, that's lay your shit snug, make it smooth. And that's why I'm a fan of yours, because it's you're gonna get noticed no matter where you go now. So it's gonna be a case of you're gonna do brilliantly, honestly. But I was telling them, like, you lay your shit in, you keep it snug, you keep it tight, and you're believable is the main thing. That's what I said to him. I was like, you get over as fuck, and I think you could go down there and be a monster heel, because they've got tiny guys down there. Okay. You could just ragdoll. I saw they
had Lucas Steele on though as well.
Yeah, Lucas Steele turned up at the end of a frontline wrestling thing. He's a monster too. Yeah, you're right. And it's he turned up and ragdolled all the frontline wrestling kids.
As you do.
He turned them inside out. I'm going to be perfectly honest. He gave them such a hard lariats. He just double clotheslined the shit out of them. I looked at it and I was like, ooh.
So what do you think of the fact that you mentioned that a lot of wrestlers nowadays are a lot like smaller or lighter than they used to be? Like obviously Finn, 190 pounds fighting for the Universal title.
Yeah.
15 years ago that would never have been thought of.
No, definitely not. No.
What do you think of that? I mean, do you think it's a good thing?
I think it is because there's more chance for the smaller guys to really get themselves over because back in like the 80s, early 90s, it's like as you see on all the old footage from there, it was like just big monsters. Wasn't it? It was just like big jacked up 6 foot odd guys
on the gas.
Yeah. Yeah. All of it, yeah. But like you never really saw much of the smaller guys, or they'd be stuck down the lower card, or the cruiserweight division or the light heavyweight division or whatever.
Yeah, Dean Malenko's, things like that.
Yeah. And even Eddie Guerrero's and Benoit's and Jericho, the cruiserweights and WCW when they first started out. But obviously, times change on, and they started becoming the most popular, the most over guys. And now it's just a case of you don't have to be a big, massive monster to get over and to have good matches.
No, you're absolutely right. Because now there's such a wide variety for excuse me. There's such a wide variety for fans and what they actually want, and that's one of the things that I actually really enjoyed about last night is that they had everything, every type of match that a wrestling fan wants. They had a ridiculously hard-hitting Japanese style match. They had just two big guys going against each other, Bad Bones and Mil Muertes.
Nice.
They just beat the living crap out of each other. It was great. They had like high flying stuff, which the guys from Frontline, Maverick Mayhew, Harrison Bourne, shout out to them. And they had loads. They had that technical style match, John Mason, that I was telling you about. Not John Mason. I'm stupid. I keep saying his name wrong. James Mason. I don't know why I keep calling him John.
Well, it's like I keep saying Joe Cobb when it's Josh Cobb.
Jeff Cobb.
Yes, Jeff Cobb.
Jeff Cobb.
Jeff Cobb. John Cobb. Whatever. Don't F10 me, please. Don't F10 me.
Have you seen that thing, by the way?
No.
He does an F10.
Oh
my word.
What's this?
I need to put that on now.
I was going to say though, when he's doing that, someone like Walter, for instance, like 15 years ago, he would just get lost in the shuffle because he looks the same size as a lot of those guys.
Yeah.
But now he's like, I guess it's more for spectacle now with somebody like him.
That size,
Yeah.
Right, so I'm going to show you this thing, and I don't know, maybe you'll be able to do it. I don't know.
This is the greatest move I've ever seen.
Right, so watch this.
Never mind the F5.
Right, so, and here we go.
Oh dear. Right.
That's a quote. Conor Renshaw. Oh dear. So he done that against Darby Allin and Jeff Cobb. I love Reddit just purely for the titles. We looked at this in the last podcast and it
sends a motherfucker spinning like a helicopter. That's great.
Black helicopters have been seen in the area. But yeah, shit like that, man. There you go, it's a new finisher.
Well, I asked this to Nathan Cruz before when we interviewed him. I asked him, right, so I'm going to ask you to tell me the character of Conor Renshaw, somebody who's never watched wrestling. How do you describe yourself?
Okay, so more like a kind of like a silent monster sort of thing. He doesn't really. He's not much of a talker. He just comes out. He just wants to get his head down and just destroy whatever's in front of him.
Okay,
that's his main goal.
So a bit like Screwface then.
Sort of, yeah, sort of that kind of thing, pretty much. But yeah, just more of a silent destroyer sort of thing,
right,
pretty much.
Your character reminds me a lot of Hitman.
Yes,
I will say that.
Or
that silent type
Terminator.
Like Terminator. Very much that as well.
That's
it. You remind me a lot of that as well, in the way that you portray that character. How did he get to that? How did he decide? Because you could have done a number of other things.
Well, it's kind of like when I started out at Rad Pro, and like I got like obviously my first match I was just like generic wrestler number 1.
Yeah.
And then I got given a gimmick, and yeah,
gimmick with a quotation mark.
He will not be, who shall not be named. Yeah, so that was kind of how the thing was. That's kind of what the gimmick I was doing, anyways. But like, sort of, obviously a lot different, because it was like face paint and a dummy involved and all sorts of weird stuff.
I'll be fair. It's Victor Von Volt.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
3V. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that the best?
Wow.
So it's so hold on. So is it Victor Von Volt or is it 3V? I'm confused.
It's Victor Von Volts is what it was called. Yeah.
Why did it become 3V for a bit? I am a bit confused by that.
That was like something I did at like not too long after that. It was like a Full Tilt. They wanted us to be a baby face. And I was like, all right, and then they just give us the name. I didn't really have a choice in that for my. I was like, okay.
You didn't want to become Triple V, or
no, I didn't get the choice. I would have done something different if I had the choice.
I think you could have came out as Triple V and gotten like a wig with long hair and started pedigreeing people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you could have just been like, you want me to be face? I don't know. That's the only thing I can do that.
Instead of sledgehammer, just like
come out with your sledgehammer and your shovel to bury people.
Yeah.
Mainly he who shall not be named.
That was like, I started out with that one, and that was kind of like how I wanted to do it anyways. Like Undertaker basically was my favourite, and he was like the same.
Yes,
he didn't really speak. He came out and he just fucked shit up.
You had a manager at first. Didn't you?
Not at first.
But you had, there was a guy.
I did at some point.
Yeah, who was that guy?
Oh, that was a lad called Tom Curry, and he was just.
Oh yeah, no, he doesn't. Oh, cool. Hold on, I need a. He used to do the Northeast Wrestling podcast.
Yep, that's right.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Now that's where I know that name from. Okay, because funny that. When we had Biggs on before, he went, "This is a lot better than that other one."
Yeah.
And he was like, "This one's a lot more professional. I don't have to not swear."
More professional because you can swear.
Well, yeah, kind of like that. But he was like, "It's also not in like a back room of a locker room, you know, with loads of sweaty people and people keep walking in."
Some social club.
Yeah, I think Nicky Starr kept on
laptop.
walking into his interview. Or something. Also, if Nicky Starr's listen, I would like him in, actually.
Would you?
I wouldn't mind him in. Seems like an interesting guy. Have you worked a lot with him?
A few times, yeah. He was at Shield last night, yeah.
Yeah. He seems like a really interesting guy to like talk to and stuff. He's always. He's not like. I'm not saying he's always commenting on stuff. Not on our stuff, but I always see him comment on stuff.
Have you worked North Wrestling?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I debuted last show.
Yeah, you were tag teaming with it.
It wasn't a tag team. It was like I just they were doing a like handicap with the Primate, and I came out like to costume the match basically, the Primate, and then teamed up with them. So now the next one is actually next Saturday.
We know.
And,
Yeah.
And the 2nd of Feb, and that's in the Riverside again. And we've got more than hype.
Who's that?
Three lads from OTT.
Oh.
The fairly young lads, yeah, from over from Ireland, and it's me, Benji, and Zio against those. So
that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, that'll be.
So we'll see you there actually, because we're doing press for that. So, But I don't know. We might do some stuff afterwards. And I don't know. We'll buy you a drink or something.
There we go.
You know. So, but yeah, like so. In returns of that, so you're getting booked on North. You're getting some Defiant bookings now.
Mm-hmm.
Have you got ones coming up soon for Defiant?
The next Defiant show is the 9th of Feb, which I think is the week after North.
Yeah.
That's the Manchester. Is that Refuse to Lose? I think it is.
Unstoppable.
Unstoppable, was it? Refuse to Lose. That was the other one, I think.
Right. Oh yeah. I think I know what you mean though. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the one in Manchester. Yeah. And then we've got the week after. It's another tape, and in the O2, I think, for the Loaded again. And then in March there's a one in Sunderland, actually.
Yeah, the Point.
Yeah.
The Point.
We know. We're trying our hardest. to get some coverage for that, but nobody answers our emails.
Do they not?
Yeah.
No.
Well, Adam Cleary, he mentioned there's actually another person I've got to contact now.
Is he?
It used to be just Adam, but it's somebody else.
Oh,
Did he get back to you?
Yeah, he just said if you email this guy, and I've just forgot to mention it.
I hope it's not like a janitor or something like that, you know. But no, that should be cool. So hopefully we'll be there as well.
Yeah.
So we're slowly roadieing for you and just following you about. And just
it's one
we're
thing.
the Conor Renshaw crew, y'all.
I quite like the venues in Sunderland. Actually, are quite good, and it's nice that they're starting to use them.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the Point's a good one, but a few people have tried to run that before and they're not done so well.
There's one in South Hilton, I think. Is it?
Yeah, is that the one that we went to for Empire?
No, that's that one as well. The Steel Social Club, yeah.
Yeah, I'll be honest. For a social club, that was actually really good, and I liked that venue.
I saw that one.
Because Empire booked there,
one, yeah.
And Empire had a good little show there.
Yeah,
that was excellent. Because they've been booking the Point for a little while now, and they always seem to run this problem. And I know the guy who runs the Point, Andy Golden. Who doesn't know? He's excellent, really nice guy. Honestly, no problem. And it seems to be there's a few people that have run the Point now, and I think it's just too expensive for people to run, which is a bit unfortunate. For someone like Defiant, probably won't be.
Yeah.
And they'll probably be able to do it out properly. Are they doing a taping there?
I don't know if it's a taping. I don't think it's.
Show?
I think it's just. I don't know if it's a live show or a taping. I think they're saying that it is being filmed. I don't know what for.
Oh, that's gonna be weird. Because I'll be honest, that's a bit of a small one for taping.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a.
They might just do a couple of matches or something.
Might be, yeah. I don't think it's
just
a full...
tape a couple of things. But but it seems to be that thing now where, I've got interesting news for you because we're in Sunderland, by the way, if anybody didn't know. And as all local people from Sunderland, we could basically talk to our head of the council.
Yeah.
So I ended up having a conversation with him, and he's building an auditorium, 300 to 500 people.
All right.
300 to 500 attendance, and he's saying it can be used for gigs and comedians. And I went, wrestling? And he went, probably, yeah.
Nice.
So that's going to be another 300 to 500 venue. So that's me the next 2 years that's getting built. So in the next 2 years, Sunderland's going to have another venue to run wrestling in with 300 to 500 capacity. That's nice. That's like the O2.
Yeah, it's not far off. Yeah.
And it's all seated.
All seated, yeah.
All seated, so it'll be a bit like a theatre show.
So it's going to be like a stage, and then all the seats pointing towards the stage, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. I remember you used to do that at the Empire Theatre. Actually, I think they had a few years ago. There was some shows that would do on the stage, just a ring in the. It's a really tiny ring.
All right.
At the Empire Theatre. I never actually went to those events.
Is that one with the big, massive drop after the stage?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it is, yeah. It'd be
Don't
fucking
go
terrifying.
that side on the rumble. I'll never see you again.
It's now a 3-sided ring.
Main Event Wrestling, have you worked that one as well? You have, haven't you?
Done a few for them, yeah.
Times, yeah, actually,
not for a little while.
Yeah.
But I've done a few for them, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you got anyone now that... Have you got... What's your goals in 2019? Because you must set yourself goals.
Yeah, I mean, 2019, it's probably to keep going on. Maybe get on, a bit further on Defiant. Hopefully get some more spots in there. Build myself up there. Get myself, maybe a program there with someone.
Yeah.
Just more bookings, really. Just keep building them up.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully every weekend, just fill it all up. Get that filled, and then.
I do have a suggestion for people in Defiant, because Benji is over as fuck.
Oh yeah.
Right.
He's way over.
And you're getting over as fuck as a heel. That's all I'm saying. Just that could be, because you know him anyway.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you've worked matches with him before, and obviously you're going to be working north with him.
Yeah, we're going to be teaming though, so
yeah,
so we get one.
But I mean, Defiant don't really care about what
yeah,
north do, so it's a case of I can see you two having a nice feud, a good feud.
That's a good one, yeah.
You and Benji could do really well. Two younger guys that already know each other.
Yeah.
That could always you can boost each other. So nobody comes out of that badly, I think.
I also thought of another one where it was obviously Sons of Ulade isn't a thing now, but I was thinking since Bass Ban is no longer wrestling, he could have a new partner. It could be you or something like that.
All right.
Yeah.
You could do it. You could do interesting with that too. To be honest, you could do it quite well with that. But
he's doing a thing with Gabe at the minute, though, isn't he? On Defiant.
Yeah, it's him and Gabe. Yeah, against Joe Hendry and Primate. Yeah.
Well,
unstoppable.
Primate. Now he's. I don't know what the score is with that, but.
What do you mean?
With
he's gone to WWE.
UK. Oh yeah, because more than likely he'll have a deal where he can finish off his bookings.
Yeah.
And any storylines he's in.
Well, Main Event Wrestling this week, he did like have an in-ring segment where it's like basically that's his last one.
Yeah.
He already like spoke about that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, Primate's really good. I mean, obviously he retired a few years ago, didn't he? And then he came back.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's a good little comeback story as well.
Definitely, yeah.
Do you know about that, by the way? Because I've not heard a lot about it, the whole Primate thing. Because it was his jaw, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I don't know who it was with, but he took a bad hit and fractured his jaw pretty badly. Get like wired shut and stuff like that off the, and then apparently it was a case of, might probably wouldn't be able to wrestle again because if he takes another hit in it, he could shatter his jaw entirely, sort of thing. So he was like, oh, that's it, it's done. And then after it healed up and stuff like that, he went back to the doctor and said, oh, it's you probably could go again, and then so he came back, and then a couple of months later he's getting signed. So
I mean, it's a weird one with the doctors and wrestlers.
Yeah,
it's a weird relationship I've found. Mark Haskins had that same problem with his back. He got told the doctor was just like, no, you shouldn't be wrestling. They were just like, you'll end up 3 inches shorter in a year. Something like that. Something mad.
Right.
Went to a different doctor and they went, what the fuck was that guy talking about? So this is the problem now that I've found. Because I've had that same problem. I've got back issues.
Yeah.
And I've had that same problem. If I go to a different doctor and a different doctor says something else and this person says something else. So you don't know what the fuck to believe as a wrestler. And we're not educated in medicine, and fucking we try our best.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, well, you try your best. I don't say we because I'm not a wrestler. But yeah, like you try your best, don't you? But this is the thing with like injuries and shit. Sometimes you just don't know how it is, and it's really kind of difficult to judge because you can be told one completely separate thing, like Primate has, of well, you'll probably never be able to wrestle again. But then, 6 months to a year down the line, oh no, you can wrestle. Well, like, I know it's called subject to change, but fuck's sake.
It's a bit of a drastic change, isn't it?
Yeah, from you'll never be able to do the thing that you love ever again to, oh no, you're fine.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, somebody fucked up there. somebody got something wrong, at the very least. But I do think there needs to be some sort of, I don't know. I think there definitely needs to be more of a specialist.
Well, there's always like loads of people in the wrestling. They always get like second opinions and stuff like that for like injuries and things like that. Because pretty much you could probably keep going to different doctors until eventually you get the answer you want.
Well, yeah, this is the thing. But is it going to be the truth? Because again, like Mark Haskins is the only example that's on the top of my head. He goes to his main guy for back problems. He says he shouldn't be wrestling. You'll be 3 inches shorter by the end of a year. All this sort of stuff. And he goes to a different doctor and he's like, no, all you need is like 2 months of rest. Take this medications, anti-inflammatories, and come back slowly, and you'll be fine. So. Who the fuck are you meant to believe? Honestly,
it's a tough one, isn't it?
It's hard.
Yeah.
Speaking of like injuries and stuff, obviously Paige had to retire from an injury in the last year. Have you ever worked with her family? Because I know they're all like wrestlers.
The Knights.
Yeah.
WAW.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Would love to, but
yeah.
I've not. I don't think I've had many runs with any of them. No. I don't think I've even.
See who's doing really well now is Ricky Knight Jr.
Yes.
He's I saw him last night against El Fantasmo.
Oh, he's good as well.
El Fantasmo was brilliant.
He kind of came out. I don't know if he's just kind of come out of nowhere, hasn't he? Just kind of.
Well, funny enough, I had an interview with him yesterday, so I managed to talk to him.
Oh yeah.
And his Wikipedia is wrong, by the way, for anybody that wants to know, because I checked his Wikipedia. It said he was over here in 2007.
Right.
Completely wrong. No, he came over here a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
So he came over here for Rev Pro.
Right.
And he started getting bookings because people liked his style and the way he done things.
Yeah.
But he came up with Kyle O'Reilly's Canadian. So obviously he came up with Kyle O'Reilly, the Bollywood boys, obviously like a few WWE people, and it's. I don't know. I think it's just been a case of the UK really works well for him.
Oh yeah,
I think
definitely.
he's moved over here now.
Has he moved?
I think so, because he's constantly working.
Oh yeah,
he's on
everywhere.
Loads of shows. Him and No Fun Done seem to be two people who every time I go to a show they are there.
Yeah.
And it's people that are just constantly booked everywhere. But he was saying, it's amazing for him, and he's. When I asked you that question earlier about NXT UK and British wrestling, he agreed. He said, "Yeah, absolutely, British wrestling is going to be all right." People underestimate how deep the well goes.
Yeah,
definitely. I think that's a thing that not many people understand. One thing I've been asking people to do. I'll ask you to do this. So we'll talk about this.
Yeah.
Can you just? Me and Johnny will shut up, and we'll. Can you say British wrestling will be fine?
All right. Okay.
Right.
British wrestling will be fine.
Cool. Right. I'm gonna edit that. That'll be good. We're
that's just like
one
audio
big,
clip.
big audio clip.
We're starting a thing, right? We're starting a movement. Okay. I've not told you about this, Johnny. I've just started doing it. I'm sorry. I made an executive decision.
Just completely bypassed you. It's going into business for yourself.
I started doing it last night, and I was like, this could go ahead really well. We're getting all the people. I'm going to try and get as many people that are in the UK scene that aren't signed to NXT UK to do, and we're going to try and start a hashtag of British Wrestling will be fine.
Okay.
Because and put out the amount of talent that is actually there that can still be booked on every show. And we're going to try and do that. We've got James Mason to do it, we've got El Fantasmo to do it, we got Maverick Mayhew to do it, obviously, because he'll sign on to anything. He's like 18. He'll say, yeah, I'll do shit. Yeah, cool. But James Mason, 25-year veteran.
Yeah.
Once I explained that to him, he was like, absolutely. Yeah, he absolutely agrees. He only disagreed with me on one thing. I said, this is probably one of the best times in British wrestling. He went, no. I think you're wrong. But I went, okay, let me rephrase it. It's probably the best time if you're a fan. And he went, yeah, okay. Yeah, no, you're right there. You're probably right there. But he was saying that, like, obviously his time coming up in the 90s and stuff, and it was probably one of the best times because he still had the camps and stuff. And speaking of the camps, you're a guy who's worked the camps actually.
Yeah.
Last year, right?
I did a few of them last year.
So what was that like? Tell people.
Yeah, it's different because it's it's a lot of people, it's a lot of kids who, and obviously they're just there. And the families are just there as part of the holidays, isn't it? They haven't paid to come see you, so a lot of them aren't really wrestling fans, anyways.
Yeah. So
it's a lot of just
foam fingers.
Yeah. It's just a lot of the matches. You go on for longer than you normally would. You don't have like a 10-minute match. You'll go on for like 20 minutes or so, something like that. Yeah. 20-25 minutes. I was just doing the tag matches mainly, but it's a lot of there's a lot of comedy spots and things like that. Just trying to get the reaction out of the kids, really, because that's mainly the people who are there.
Yeah. And
obviously you just want the kids to be happy, so that the families will want to bring them back to the Butlins and things like that. So it's just making Butlins happy, making the kids happy, making sure they buy lots of merch.
I knew it would be. So you must have learned quite a lot then.
Oh yeah, that was like, great.
And on how
every
to work
day,
the crowd.
like like every day you had 1 or 2 matches a day. It was knackering. It was absolutely. And the driving, the driving.
I mean, for you, obviously it must be tiring, but it's part of obviously the sacrifice to learn.
Oh yeah.
And you're not going to learn any other ways than in front of a live audience. And I think it was William Regal who used to do that as well. He used to do all the Butlins camps. Yeah. And used to do that, and he was 2-3 times a day. Go out, do your thing. That's how you're going to learn. But I don't know. There's an interesting piece of advice William Regal gives any aspiring wrestler, and it's to go out there with someone better than you every night. And was that a case for you, where you were always consistently learning?
Yeah. It's because sometimes on the shows that you do, like the little shows around here and things like that, you don't always get the chance to go on with someone who's got a lot more experience and who's better than you. Whereas that, it was just a case of everyone who I was up with has been doing it either longer or is at a much higher level than me. So it was it was a great learning experience, really, just getting the feedback, even like asking everyone afterwards, how did that look, what can I do different, things like that, just getting all your feedback and taking it in, absorbing it, and just putting it to practice the next night, sort of thing. That's just.
And I guess you must also wrestle as if it's your last match, just because obviously you never know when that could happen.
That's true.
So do you always go to the 110% every
time? Yeah. You've always got to give it. I think you've always, anyways, just because you owe it to the people who have paid for the ticket as well.
Yeah.
Man, so who were the people you were on with?
I was a lot of the time I was with Kip Sabian, either teaming with or against them. Robbie X was I was always against him. In my corner I had Wild Boar, Big Grizzly, Nathan Cruz, Adam Maxted, Amir Jordan. I think that's most of them. I don't think I'm missing anyone. Yeah, I think that's who I was mainly on with.
Yeah. Speaking of Kip Sabian, then obviously there's a few people on that list who are signed at WOS Wrestling. Now, and it seems to be that WOS Wrestling has more of a lenient way with their contracts, where they can pretty much, as long as it's not a conflicting date, you can go wherever you want. In that case, is it a case that, like, for you, would you prefer that, or would you prefer that leniency, or would you prefer it like in NXT UK, where you're just like you're in a performance center, you're doing different live shows, things like that?
I don't know. Obviously WWE is what I watched when I was like a kid and that, so there's always that want to be with them, to so you can say I work for WWE, because that's like what the kid in you wants to do. But obviously also the WOS thing, you can. I don't think there's any restrictions as far as I'm aware.
No, I don't.
I've seen pretty much everyone else who's done it, who's they've been on any show really.
Nathan Cruz was saying exactly the same.
Yeah.
So he was saying they're really really lenient with everything that you can do, as long as there's no conflicting dates. Yeah. So they don't mind your character or anything like that, as long as when you're there, you're there. But Robbie X is another one, and Kip Sabian that you've just mentioned there. Guys who, again, this UK scene that are only going to get more bookings now.
Oh yeah,
because definitely. these are some of the guys that have been coming up for years. I mean, Kip Sabian with Easton Reese in WOS are one of my favourite tag teams. Those two with ridiculous stuff. Actually, Kip Sabian's in a top 10 coming up. In a top 10 that I've done of top 10 guys that you didn't to look out for in the UK independent wrestling scene. And also, Kip Sabian, if you're listening, please come in next time you're in the Northeast. That'll be nice. Because he seems like a really nice bloke as well.
Yeah, he's
instead. I know he's coming as super bad, but he's meant to be super nice.
No, yeah, he's sound fella, pretty much. Cool, man.
But I mean, there's so much stuff now for UK wrestling. Is there any way that you want that for you that are realistically that you want to hit this year? Have you got any promotions you want to hit, or any people you want to wrestle this year?
People I'd want to wrestle. Well, I was kind of hoping with the whole Defiant thing going to Sunderland, I kind of had an idea I could wrestle with Pac, because obviously I get a massive heel reaction in Newcastle because the announcers from Sunderland. Yeah. So I was getting a heel reaction from there, whereas they come to Sunderland in March. Yeah. So I could maybe come out as the baby face there, and he would be the heel. Yeah. But I don't think it would happen. But
I mean,
it'd be something that'd be interesting to do.
I remember a few years ago when they'd done that, when Neville was fighting in WWE, and he was wrestling Tyson Kidd. So Neville had a Newcastle top on, and Tyson Kidd had found a Sunderland shirt. He put that on. That was brilliant. That
was that in the Metro Arena or something. Yeah.
So it was. That would be good actually. It's weird to imagine someone going from Sunderland, England, and the wrestling in Sunderland. I'm obviously not used to that because we don't get that chance very often. No. So it's class that
Yeah, I was going to say I can't. Not off the top of my head, I can't think of anyone majorly that's billed from Sunderland.
No.
Can you think of anyone?
Not really.
Yourself?
Well, you obviously.
Yeah, I get billed from Sunderland.
Obviously, other than you.
No.
I don't think anyone is billed from Sunderland.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, no.
What?
Gavin Lewis.
Oh, yes.
Gavin Lewis. Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, he's billed from Sunderland too. Because everybody hates him in North. I remember that.
That's it.
Where did... sorry, you might know him. Where did he come from?
Where did he come from?
Because it seems like he came out of nowhere.
Oh, he's been around for a while, this Gav. He started training when he was like 14 or something.
Yeah.
And
how old is he now?
He's my age. I think I was younger. My age, 23. I think he is. But he's been training for years.
Yeah.
He's been training with Rampage and that at NGW for ages and stuff like that. So he's been around for a good while.
He just seems like someone who like I heard of him from nowhere, and then he popped on him in loads of shows that I ended up going to.
Yeah.
Another one that I want to mention to you, Northumbria Pro Wrestling Society.
Oh yes.
You seem to be quite involved with them because it's who is it that runs it? It's
the Northumbria
Wrestling Society.
Student society thing, whatever it is.
But it's I can't remember who runs it. But it's they seem to be doing some amazing things right now. They're doing really interesting stuff.
They've got another show coming in February actually as well.
Yeah,
I'm on that one. Yeah.
I had to remember there. I was just saying, I think you're on that.
Yeah,
I
am. Yeah.
I would have been confused if you were like, am I? Well, I might have to double check.
Yeah. Get the calendar out.
So, as an aspiring wrestler, if you seem to be quite lucky in that with the Northeast, there is quite a few different promotions you can go to any of which weekend. I think we are. Me and Johnny have said that we are extremely lucky for the Northeast to have as many good promotions as we do.
Wrestling is a weird industry because there are so many. Like this is like promotions all over the country have. There are some really good ones and then there are some terrible ones, and it's like I don't know what it is about wrestling. It seems like a lot of people seem to think, oh, I like wrestling, I can run a promotion as well, but they can't. It seems like a lot of people do that, where everybody who likes wrestling seems to think, oh, I'll try run a promotion.
Especially in the Northeast.
We love wrestling. We're not going to start a promotion.
Yes.
Yeah.
We know what we're good at.
Yeah, I mean, I've said this before. Like, I love wrestling, but I'm not going to at some point start a promotion because I'm not good enough for that. I don't know. There's no way that I could ever run a promotion. I'm not a businessman, and you have to have a business mind. A wrestling fan shouldn't run a show because it's a wrestler, not a business person. Like, I think there's a difference there.
Right, I'm going to stop being a pussy now. That and vegan sausage rolls. We'll move on because hope my tears don't come through. My tears are red, white, and blue. You bitches. Not of the USA, of the British flag, of course, because that's what's on the RopeBreak logo. If anybody hasn't fucking noticed. But yeah, there you go. It's got the British flag on it.
See, what's going to happen is an American listens to the podcast and goes, "Oh, red, white, and blue. He must be an American fan."
I've got bald eagle tattooed on my head.
Yeah. Or maybe it's French wrestling,
So
could be French wrestling.
Could be French wrestling. Could be. I'm from the Alps. Sponsored by Volvic.
Oh, there's no film.
No, it's not filmed, unfortunately. No. When we get a photo afterwards, you can just Volvic.
We'll just point to it.
Get it on the back of your tights and stuff. Just a giant mountain. Volvic.
Ravy Davy.
Oh yeah, of Govan team.
From Govan team, yeah.
Yeah, he was fighting the main event wrestling this week.
Yeah.
Have you seen he started a Twitter beef with a guy from Sunderland?
Really?
Yeah, it's not a Twitter beef, but it's just like a fun thing.
Oh, okay. Right.
It's like because obviously Ravy Davies is like an MC guy, isn't he?
Yeah.
So he does and he's actually really good.
Did you see the one from MEW with the guy who got up and danced to his MC?
I think so. No, I didn't see. Was that from this weekend?
That was from this one. You just gone. That was great.
Yeah.
It was on. I can't remember who. I think it might have been Ben or someone put it on Instagram.
Oh god,
it was amazing.
I'm gonna have to look at that.
Someone who looked like he was absolutely hammered. Just got up and was busting out his moves to it.
God, right. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna have a quick look at this because I cannot remember what it is. This is where I completely forget everything, and somebody's just realised that.
Make sure we edit all the typing out when you.
Well, yeah, I'll do it.
Just leave it in. Sounds good.
Where is it? There he is. He's challenged the guy to an MC off.
Has he?
It's something like that. Where is it? 21 hours ago. Oh, there it is. This guy, at Ronnie Roans, the Gammon Cannon. What Northeast Wrestling Company is booking MC Ravy versus MC Roans? And this guy's apparently went, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, that's fine.
Nice.
So there you go. Ravy Davy MCing against a guy. And someone called
Defiant.
Kieran's trying to get Defiant to do it. I don't think so.
No.
Good trout though. It's good worth a shout. But yeah, that's it. Follow us on Twitter.
At RopeBreak UK, lads and lasses.
Twitter does not sponsor this. Twitter probably fucking hates us, to be honest. Because I try and post stuff, but it just doesn't work. Are you very good at the social media stuff? Because I can sometimes do it.
I'm not a big fan of Twitter. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really use it. Instagram, I like Instagram, Facebook, and the like. I'm not a big Twitter user, to be fair. But
Yeah. It seems to be more and more like if you're a wrestler, you need to get your social media.
definitely, you need it. Yeah, you've got to keep on top of it.
In all media as well. Like, make sure you keep regularly using Instagram and Twitter. Is the big one. Facebook, I mean, that's good as well. But
It's not as much really. Yeah, it's more for like just. I only really use it for I'll share matches like events and stuff like that on Facebook. That's a good way to get people interested.
It's always good to get like that, though, isn't it? It's just it seems to now more and more. One of the things that I'm really impressed with the British wrestling scene at the minute is when you ask to interview someone now. So it's one of the things obviously we do quite a lot on shows.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that people are just like, yeah, no bother, and it's not character. And I'm like, okay, I'm glad that we've gotten to the point now where people don't have to think when they're doing an interview they have to be in character all the time.
Yeah.
I do appreciate that sometimes with people who are like just like that all the time. But when it's like you've seen interviews with them before and they've been real, and then they decide to do a promo one, and I'm really happy about that in that sort of sense. But then now with social media, I feel like you can't do kayfabe. You can't. I just feel like it's something just.
I think it's been gone for a while, isn't it? Really.
Yeah. There's some people that I think are still trying to.
Joe Hendry was like that with me when I spoke to him. He tried to remain in character. Like, half the interview he was in character, and half the time he was being himself. It's because it was with Jack the Jobber, and at the time they had something going on where they were like working together. Yeah. So every time Joe spoke, he was like acting like a dickhead, basically, because that's his character at that time. And I didn't really like that too much, but yeah, he's obviously not like that normally. It's just because at the
It's
time.
your own podcast.
Yeah, it's just obviously that guy's character at the time was, the heel, so he kept that way in interviews as well. And I don't mind that too much, but it's like it makes it awkward sometimes. Yeah, because you just want an answer and they're just not responding because they don't want to.
So, do you have? Where can people hit you up first of all?
So I'm on Twitter at Conor_Renshaw1. On Instagram, I think that's the same one, and I'm on Facebook as well. Have I got a fan page? I don't think I do.
I think you need one because I keep trying to tag you and stuff.
Let's make one.
Let's do it now.
We'll try.
Yeah, I think I need to get myself a Facebook one. I only really use Facebook for like sharing events and Messenger really.
I think you need one to so that you can stay away from your personal one. That seems to be what a lot of people are doing now.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
just using a fan one to like get bookings and.
Does Biggs have a personal and fan page?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go back into it. I've had too much emotion. I've had too much emotional stuff to happen. But yeah, thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah, thanks.
It's been brilliant.
It's been great fun
to have you come in and talk about all the stuff in the camps and your training and everything. So where can what you got coming up? You've got North.
Oh, loads. February's really busy. North is the next one. That's next Saturday, the 2nd. Riverside. Don't know what time doors are there. It's later
Probably
on normally.
6:30 usually.
Then the week after that it's Manchester. We're in for Defiant, and then the week after that it's Northumbria Uni on the Friday, the 15th, and the Saturday is also Defiant at the O2. I think that is for the tapings for Loaded, and then the week after that I'm at Shield Pro Wrestling for the in-house Shields.
Keeping yourself busy.
I am, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
January's been really quiet, to be fair.
Yeah.
I only had like 2 this month. Just
why is he having us?
Yeah.
There you go. It's if you're not getting booked, you can come on the podcast whenever you want, man. You're always welcome to come join.
Absolutely,
I've
yeah.
really enjoyed it.
How about bringing on both of you and Joe at the same time?
Oh wow.
Oh,
we should do it.
Yeah, we should do that. That'll be fun.
He'll just bring a bottle of whiskey or something.
Oh my god. I have to put blackouts on all the windows so security don't see me. Thank you so much for coming in, man. It's been a blast. Check them out on Facebook, Twitter, everything on there. And we'll thank you very much. Thank you very much for listening, guys.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks,
this is
guys.
Johnny, Phil, and Connor signing off.